I would like to tell you how we make our products, the slice, this universe of filled products that we have here. Actually, it started for several years ago, I think in 2003 or something like that, with these filled products. Before that, I've been making a lot of filled things, but mostly wall hangings and artwork. I will come back to that later. And then I wanted to make something that was still had the art expression in it, and had something that you could use it for. So I wanted to make some things that were very, very beautiful, usable, and art at the same time. So I started thinking about how to fill things together and to make these patterns here. But I wanted a very sharp surface, and I wanted the colors to stand very sharp beside each other, and not, you know, just going into each other as they normally do in felting. So I started out with rolling a very small roll and using my kitchen table to cut it into pieces, and found out that I could do that with a very sharp knife if I wanted. So I thought that when you can do it in a very small scale, it must be able to make it bigger. But I didn't realize that it was so. It took so long time, and I will go into so many troubles on the way. So, but well, there was a lot of things that I had to figure out on the way. First of all, how to filter it in a bigger size, and that everything will be the same hardness of the felt, and of course, when you cut it into, I had to cut it into slices, and these slices must be very, very precise. And actually, first of all, I thought that there were so many companies in the area where I live that do a lot of different things, and I could find a company who could cut it into slices for me, but it came back, and half of it I had to throw out because it was not cut properly. So after some time, I found out that if I had to continue with this, I really had to some way make a machine that so we could do it ourselves. So I got hold of some good friends and some good people who are used to making different things, and one which are used to working in metal, and another one which were used to thinking another way. And then I came around and said, why not try this and that? And you know, we tried all kinds of different machines, and at the end we came up with making our own machine and putting it together of different kinds of machines. So now we have a thing that, of course, we can use for cutting this into slices, and that's also why we call this product for slice. This is a seed slice. Then we have the table slices here, which are for hot things on the table, hot pad. And then we have the glass slices, which are to set glass and cups and things on your table. And then we also up here have the sofa slice, we call it. That's a pillow thing that you can either have in your sofa, in your back, or sit on it. You can throw it on the floor and sit on it there, or you can even make yoga on it if that's what you feel like. The inspiration to this comes, as it's very obvious when you look at it afterwards, but I really like to be out in the nature. I like to walk around in the nature, and using my eyes, seeing things, and of course the inspiration came from the wood, from a wooden tree which is cut into cut over. So, and sometimes, of course, I also can joke about that this is a wool tree that I've cut into pieces. Well, there are different ways of felting. You can either use needle felting, or you can use soap felting. That's the main two ways of felting. When we felt here, we do the wet felting way, but we don't use any soap. We only use hot water. And that's because that the soap is not very good to lead out in the environment. And we've found out that we can cut off the soap part and only do fill this with very hot water. Some of the hot water we even recycle and use again and again until there comes a moment where we think now we have to change the water. So in that way, it's very good, very caring about the environment. The felt is made of wool, and wool comes from sheep's. Felt fibers are like, they can felt by itself. When they become heat and some movements, the fibers will move into each other and felt together. So that's the way I do it. It's a very natural way for wool to felt together. And when we don't use anything to put into the process, it's also very a natural product we have at the end. So we do really want our products to maintain and be as beautiful as they are the day you buy it, even 10 years later. And it's very, very resistible even for dirt and for use, so it looks the same even if you've used it as in several years.